welcome back to another video. My name is India if you are new here, and if you are not new, welcome back, sis. So jumping right into this video, you guys, I am preparing to do a wash and go. Now I have done this combo before in the past, but I wanted to go ahead and show you all some important steps that I don't see a lot of people talking about. I know we're always talking about the right products to use, but sometimes in order to do a really good wash and go, it can be in the technique that you're using, whether it's how much product you're using, if you are deep conditioning, and all the things. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into it. So if this is interesting to you, go ahead and keep watching. All right, you guys, so the first thing that I want to talk about is what happens before you even get to the styling part of a wash and go. The most important part of a wash and go is truly what you do before you actually get to the styling part. Before you get to the curl creams or the gels or the mousse or whatever it is you're choosing to use, whatever you shampoo your hair with, condition your hair with, deep condition your hair with, and detangling. Those are the three things that is going to highly influence if your wash and go turns out really good or really bad. So the first thing I want to talk about is shampooing. If you're not clarifying, then you probably are not having or not getting good results when you're trying to do a wash and go. You are going to need to get yourself a shampoo that is clarifying to your hair and your scalp. Clean hair and clean scalp is very important when you are doing wash and go, because you don't want to have product buildup. So if you're not washing out that old product from a previous hairstyle or a previous wash and go, then all of those products are still in your hair, on your scalp, and then you're gonna follow up by adding more products on top of it. So some products may not mix with others very well, and that may be the cause of some of your flaking issues if you're having issues with flaking. So it's going to be very imperative that you're making sure that you clean not only your hair, but your scalp really well. Clarifying is the key. Like, you just need something that's going to clarify. I always recommend for you to use 2 different shampoos. So especially if you're going to use a clarifying shampoo. A lot of clarifying shampoos are going to strip your hair, some more than others, but that is the whole point. It is to take out all of the product. It is to strip away all of that gunk that you've been putting in your hair. So that's what it's actually supposed to do. So if you're going to use the clarifying shampoo, just make sure you follow up with the moisturizing shampoo. Now that we have shampooing out the way, we're going to clarify and we're going to moisturize, and we're going to make sure that our hair and scalp is squeaky clean. The second thing that you need to do, you gotta deep condition. I am a person who, I skip the condition part because I deep condition very well. So I don't feel the need to have to condition my hair, then turn around and deep condition it as well. All I do is shampoo and deep condition. You have the choice. If you want to use the regular conditioner and then follow up with the deep conditioner, you can do that. Or if you want to just shampoo and go right into deep conditioning, that has been working for me as well. So you can choose to do it that way as well. Do not skip the deep conditioning step. Do not skip the deep conditioning step. Do not skip the deep conditioning step. And the reason why I say that is because after you've cleansed your hair, if you follow up with a good deep conditioner, that's going to bring the moisture back into your hair. And if your hair is moisturized to its potential, then that's when you're going to see the most effects with your curls starting to formulate. That's when you're going to see your curls actually spring up. So y'all see this? My hair looks like this because I used a great deep conditioner. My hair is clean, I shampooed really well, and I followed with a deep conditioner. I don't have any products in my hair right now at all, just water. All I did was rinse my deep conditioner out, and this is what it looks like without any product. Without any product. You can see my curls, they have definition. If you go deep in there, you can see even more definition. You can see that they're starting to shrink up. I know that we don't like shrinkage, but shrinkage actually is a sign that your curls are being hydrated. Hydrated curls will shrink up, and that's just the nature of it. So shrinkage is not always a bad thing. You know, we don't like it because we want to be able to see our length, because if I stretch my hair down, of course my hair is way longer than what it shrinks up to be. So, you know, that is what it is. But y'all, don't skip deep conditioning. It is one of the most important steps, because you want your hair to be moisturized. You want it to be hydrated. And one of the key and number one complaints that I hear when people are asking me what to do with their hair, they always tell me, oh, my hair is dry. My hair is dry. My hair is dry. My hair is dry. Sometimes people are talking about the luster of their hair, and that's a whole nother thing. But a lot of times people are not deep conditioning, and so your hair really is dry because you haven't taken the time to let a deep conditioner get in there and penetrate those strands. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna cleanse, we're gonna deep condition. Next up, I want to talk a little bit about tools. So sometimes you can use some hair tools to kind of make this process a little bit easier as well. First thing first, and y'all forgive me because I do have hair on it, but it is what it is. You can use different types of brushes, like a Denman brush or wide tooth comb. This one kind of has like a detangler on the back of it. I really do like this comb. So you could use something like this to kind of help spring your curls up and make your curls pop and come out. Now the only thing with using Denman brush and tools or brushes or stuff, or wet brushes and things of that nature, that's going to cause your hair to shrink up, because you're defining your curl even more, and defined curls shrink. They don't elongate, they shrink. You can use different products to try to make it elongate a little bit more, but for the most part, if you're going to be using any type of Denman brushes or combs or tools, that may cause you to have a little bit more shrinkage than you're used to. But it can help you if you're trying to get more defined curls, if you're looking for more definition. So that's something to keep in mind. The last thing I want to mention as far as tools would be a spray bottle. Sometimes when I give people tips and stuff, when they're asking me about how do I do my wash and goes, sometimes you need drenched hair depending on what kind of products you're using. Some products will advise you to make sure you're using soaking wet hair before you put on the product. And that, I would just say, just make sure you're reading the instructions on the products that you're using, because if it says that you need to use it on soaking wet hair, then I would advise that you use it on soaking wet hair. So just get yourself a spray bottle, because just how I'm standing here talking to you right now, my hair is starting to dry on its own. And so as I begin to do my wash and go, I may use my spray bottle a little bit to just re-wet my hair so that it's wet enough before I actually apply any product. And then sometimes it just kind of depends on your hair, because sometimes a product may say that I need to have it soaking wet, and I've gotten away without it being soaking wet. So you just have to experiment a little bit with that, but I would say to use caution, just go with what the instruction says first, and then if that doesn't work, you can try the other way. All right, now for the perfect wash and go, the last tip that I would have as far as like tools and products and what things to do, products. Okay, we got to talk about products. So if you have thick hair and it's, super coarse, I would suggest trying to use some type of gel or jelly, something that's going to give you a hold. A lot of times I get people asking me, how did you get your curls to like pop like that? How do they just stay? Like when I wash my hair, I can see the curls, but then it goes away and I don't see it anymore. You're gonna need something that's going to be strong enough to hold those curls in place and to set those curls in place. So me personally, I like to use a gel. This is the Extreme Gel right here. I know some people love it, some people hate it. In this particular situation, you definitely have to use what works best for you. And if you don't know what works best for you, you're going to have to give it a few times to try it out to see what works best for you, because some people also like using mousse. I'm not a big fan of mousse, because mousse, I have not used the mousse that actually works for me for a wash and go. So I'm not, I'm not a mousse user, but I know some of the girlies out there can use mousse and their curls are beautiful. But I can't do that with my hair. But again, that comes with trial and error. I had to try it to see if it works. I've used a couple of different types of mousses and it just don't work for me with a wash and go. So I gave that one up. If a different product comes along and I try it, but for the most part, I know that if I'm trying to get a really good wash and go, a mousse is not going to work for me. I'm going to need a gel. Now, if your hair is less dense or if your hair is finer, you may not need something as heavy as a gel. This gel I use to weigh my hair down. You may need something light like a curl cream, or the mousse may work for you, or maybe you just need like a light leave-in. If you have less dense or thin hair, then that may work for you. So again, it's all about your hair type and what your hair preference is. Also, make sure your products actually mix well with each other. I think I did on this channel like the mixing test. So today I'm going to be using this gel and I'm also going to be using this curl definer on my wash and go. I've already mixed these two together to make sure that it doesn't clump up or have a bad white residue. You just want to make sure that the products you're using, they match, because if these two products don't match, especially if you like rub it inside of your hands, then they're definitely not going to match when it gets inside your head, and then when it gets inside your hair, and then when it dries, it's gonna flake and all the things, and your curls are not gonna pop because you got that mixture on your hair strands that don't mix. So your curls are probably like, what is this? And then you probably gonna get frizz and all the things. So just make sure that whatever products you do decide to use, that they actually match. That is about it as far as the talking piece. I hope that you guys found any or some of that information helpful. Now I'm going to go ahead and get kind of into like the demonstration for you all, because some of the next tips that I have are actually how I actually put the products in my hair, and it's all about technique at that point. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my hair sectioned off so we can get started, and I'll be right back. I have sectioned my hair off into 4 sections. If you don't know, I'm a 4-section girly. I like to section it off so I can work one section at a time. I do have my water here, and I've already showed you guys the products I'm going to be using, which is the Extreme Gel. And this is the Taliah Waajid Green Apple Aloe with Coconut, and this is the Curl Definer. And I love this stuff, you guys. It smells amazing because it smells like green apples, and it's very hydrating to the hair, and it's super thick. So if you are a thick hair girly who wants a product to weigh down, then you definitely need this. The first tip that I have is, one, I know my hair is dry, so I'm going to go ahead and spray it down with some water. Now for this particular product, I don't need it to be soaking wet. I just need it to be a little bit wetter than it was, because I was talking to y'all, giving y'all all the good tips. The first tip that I want to give you about the technique is I like to actually apply wherever my curl definer cream or leave-in, I like to apply that all over my hair first and then apply the gel. Then I go back and apply the gel. I've noticed when I do my wash and goes that way, it helps because the leave-in or the curl definer or the curl cream, whatever I'm using, it gives it time to actually sit on my hair, get into my strands, get into my hair, and then when I come back to apply the gel just kind of just seals the deal with the actual curls. And I'll show you guys what I mean. Also, just be mindful of how much product you're using. Depending on the product, you may need to use more, you may need to use less. Because this is a very thick curl definer, I like to start off with a little bit at a time. And I'm just gonna rub it in my hands and get started. So one thing to note is I like to rake the products through my hair. I use my fingers a lot, and I go from the scalp all the way down to the end. So from root to the end. And you want to make sure that you're smoothing the product through your hair. I'm actually smoothing this into my hair. So I'm going to use a little bit more. And you just smooth it. Make sure you get your ends, because the more you smooth your hair, the more that's going to make your curls want to pop as well. So we're just going to get that in there and smooth it, smooth it, smooth it, smooth it as much as possible. All right, now just after smoothing, this is what my hair looks like. Look at that. Defined definition. You can see the curls. That's just after smoothing the product in my hair. And that's what I mean. Sometimes you got to slow down, sis, and take your time. Because if you take your time and actually get that product in there and make sure you're using enough and make sure your hair is wet enough, then the product will do what it needs to do. And if I was to smooth this even more, it's going to get curlier and curlier. Look at that. So what I'm going to do is I am going to do this for each section of my hair. So I'm going to twist this down. And then I am going to apply this curl definer to the other 4 sections of my hair. And once I get done, I'll start on the gel. All right, now we got both sides done and we are looking really, really good. So next up, I am going to go ahead and apply my gel. Now, the way that I apply my gel is pretty much the same method how I put my curl definer in, except I'm going to use even smaller sections. So for this, I am going to take all of these sections and put them up. And let's get them out of the way. And I probably could have did that a lot better, but you know, it is what it is. So we're gonna start with this first back section here. And I'm just gonna take the twister loose and run my fingers through it. And this is what I mean by letting that your curl definer or whatever curl cream or leave-in that you're using, now that I've let that sit in my hair, like my curls are ready to stay curly. It just needs something to hold it in place. So I'm gonna start with this same section. Now remember, when I put the curl definer in, I put it in this big section. Well, when it comes to my gel, I'm going to make these small sections so that I can get to the root of my hair, because that's going to be very important to lay your hair down, especially if your hair is thick. You want to make sure that you're getting the gel. So you see here, this is a perfect example. I have on a black shirt, so you may not be able to see it as good, but if I do this, so you see my curls are more curly down here, but up at the root, honey, let me get closer. Up the root, y'all see how the curls are popping right here, but right here, up here in the root, they frizzy. She frizzy, okay? So we want to make sure we are tackling that frizz. I'm going to take me some gel, and y'all, for real, I apply it almost like back in the day when we used to get perms. Or if you still get perms, you know, if you know, you know. Hey, ain't no judgment over here. If you still get perms, do what's best for you, okay? This the channel where you do what's best for you, okay? Ain't no shame in the game, all right, at all. So I'm just gonna apply that right down. Look at that. Apply it just like that. And you see already, that puffiness has gone down. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for something that's going to weigh the hair down. And in order to do that, especially if you have thick hair, because you have thick hair, you need to do smaller sections so that the product can get to all of your strands and weigh it down. Because usually if you do bigger sections, some gel might get on your strands, some gel might not get on your strands, and so that's what's going to cause more frizz. But here, I'm just going to smooth it. So again, still smoothing. The smoothing technique really does work, you guys. Whether you're putting your curl cream, curl definer, leave-in, or your gel. And then this is what you're looking for here. You see how it kind of like streamed out? That's actually a good sign. That means that it is weighing my hair down. And what's going to happen is, as it dries, it's going to curl itself back up. So, I'm going to do it again. Show you guys another section here. Gonna take another small section, about that big. Pin this up. We got our puffy root again. There she go, being puffy. And we're gonna take it, put some gel, and be generous with your gel. Don't be scared of it. It ain't gonna, it ain't gonna bite. I hope it don't bite. And I like to get on top as well as underneath. So I'm gonna put gel underneath and on top. And then I'm gonna smooth it out. I'm gonna smooth it out. And then I also like to apply a little extra to my ends. And basically, y'all, that's it. At this point in time, you can shingle. So if you like to shingle, you can go ahead and separate each one and separate those curls out and shingle. I don't shingle as much as I used to, but like I said, this is how I would shingle my hair. I will say, if you do shingle, you will get more definition. So if you again care about maximum definition, then I would suggest you shingle, because as I'm shingling, you can see that it starts to curl a lot faster. So that's pretty much it, y'all. I'm about to do this for all the sections on my hair, and we shall see what our final product is looking like. All right, y'all, so this is the final results. Well, kind of the final results. My hair is still wet, but y'all, do y'all see this definition? Like, come on, come on, like, come on, look at my curls. I mean, every single strand. And this is what happens when you do all the steps and you take your time. Go small sections. Show y'all the back. Like, this is how I like for my wash and goes to look after I get done, because I'm going to let this air dry, and I know without a shadow of a doubt that this is going to last me, because even if it does get frizzy throughout the days, look at all this definition I have. Now, one thing about this, I am planning to stretch my hair a little bit, but I'm not going to do it right now. I probably won't stretch it until tomorrow, so I will come back and show you guys what it looks like after I finish stretching. And I'll probably show you guys how I stretch as well, since this is a full wash and go video. I'll show you guys how I stretch my wash and go, but for right now, I'm just going to leave my hair as is. I'm going to let it air dry. Right now it is 6:37, so I still have quite a bit of time before I go to bed. When I do get ready to go to bed tonight, I'm just gonna pull my hair up into a ponytail, throw my scarf on, throw my bunny on, go to sleep, and then y'all see me in the morning when I take it down. All right, y'all, it is the next day, and I'm going to take my bonnet down and all the things, and we're gonna go ahead and prepare to stretch this hair out. Honestly, it should be all the way dry. It's just a little damp in the middle right here, but for the most part, it is already dry. So all I'm gonna be focusing on is stretching. And right now, I'm just bringing it down from being in that pineapple. And y'all, for real, all I really do is like pull it and shape it with my hands, like so, to get it to look how I want, but curls still define the definition, and all the things. All right, so let's start to stretch this hair. All right, so I'm going to be using my pattern blow dryer. I love this thing. One of my favorites. I am using the diffuser nozzle that it comes with. I'm going to put it on the second heat, and then I'm going to put it on the first speed. So that is the options I'm going to be using, and then I'm just about to stretch this out, y'all. So we are fully stretched and I am loving it. Now the last step, y'all, very last step, I'm gonna use a little bit of this argan oil treatment from Argan Oil. This is what it looks like. I love this stuff to put a little shine back into my hair. My hair is super soft and I just want to add just a little bit of shine. So I'm gonna take a few sections and just move this through. And then that's gonna be it. So this is what I like to use, like kind of as my finisher. At this point, if you want to do your edges and get all fancy with it, you can. A lot of times I don't do my edges, but like I said, you can at this point. But this is how I get my wash and goes to just come out bomb. I hope that you guys enjoyed me giving you some very, very detailed steps on how to go about perfecting your wash and go, especially if you're still trying to perfect it or if you're still trying to get the perfect method that works for your hair. I hope that this video helps you. That's it for this video, y'all. If you've made it to the end of this video, please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. If you haven't, what are you waiting for? And then please don't forget to like and leave me a comment and let's talk. Let me know, like, what are some of your favorite products? Do you even still do wash and goes? Let me know. Let's talk in the comments, sis. And I'll talk to y'all in the next video. Bye.